Hello and welcome. You're watching France 24. Coming up, 1,000 homes and businesses destroyed, hundreds of thousands without power as fast-moving winds fan Los Angeles' worst wildfires in years. At least 2 killed since Tuesday night as firefighters battle blazes in 4 separate areas. We'll get an update with Ryan Thompson in LA. There's hope for Syria's future, so say the U.S. and French foreign ministers on the 1-month anniversary of the ouster of Bashar al-Assad. In Paris, Antony Blinken talks up joint efforts by Paris and Washington to bolster a precarious truce between neighboring Lebanon and Israel. An Italian journalist freed after 3 weeks in Tehran's notorious Evin prison. 29-year-old Cecilia Sala back home now as a Milan court reviews the case of an Iranian engineer arrested recently in Italy and wanted by the United States. In the next hour, the France 24 debate. Can we talk about the Gulf of America as NATO allies decide whether or not to take Donald Trump seriously when he makes expansionist threats against the likes of Panama, Greenland, Canada? We'll ask our panel whether the same U.S. president-elect who's long argued against foreign military campaigns is an isolationist or an imperialist. How should European leaders react? Your reactions on the hashtag F24Debate. Hello, everyone. I'm François Picard. The worst is yet to come, so say authorities in Los Angeles. Fierce winds continue to fan fast-moving fires that are now moving towards more populated areas of the city in a matter of hours. Those flames tearing through parts of the Pacific Coast inland, all the way to Pasadena, at least 2 killed. Sarah Anderson reporting. An Italian journalist freed after 3 weeks in Tehran's notorious Evin prison is back home. 29-year-old Cecilia Sala, touching down in Rome as a Milan court reviews the case of an Iranian engineer arrested recently in Italy and wanted in the United States. There's the Italian Prime Minister stating that this was the fruit of intense diplomatic negotiations. For more, let's cross to Tehran and correspondent Saeed Azimi. Saeed, Ruzbe Parsi, many thanks for being with us from Uppsala, Sweden.
Thank you.
And just a reminder of our top story, authorities in Los Angeles warning that the worst could be yet to come. Fierce winds continuing to fan fast-moving fires that are now moving towards more populated areas. The California fires which are now have 4 different parts of this of the city where they have 4 different epicenters at this point. It all happened just in a matter of hours. At least 2 killed and 1,000 homes and businesses destroyed. Ryan Thompson reporting live from the Los Angeles area of Pacific Palisades. Many thanks for that update. We'll be crossing back to you throughout. There's more to come here on France 24, more news. And in sports, Didier Deschamps to step down as France coach, a post he's held since 2012. He'll be doing it after the next World Cup campaign that will take him to the U.S., Mexico, and Canada in 2026. Welcome back. You're watching France 24. Coming up, 1,000 homes and businesses destroyed already. Hundreds of thousands without power as fast-moving winds fan Los Angeles' worst wildfires in years. At least 2 killed since Tuesday night. Firefighters battling blazes in 4 separate areas. Germany's chancellor admits a degree of incomprehension among European partners as EU leaders push back against Donald Trump's designs on Greenland. In Paris, the outgoing U.S. Secretary of State says he doesn't see that takeover happening. Didier Deschamps to step down as France coach after the 2026 World Cup. A world champion both as a player and manager, Deschamps will have headed Les Bleus for 14 years. Selena Sykes has all the day's sports news. The worst could be yet to come, warn authorities in Los Angeles. Fierce winds continuing to fan fast-moving fires that are now moving towards more populated areas of the city. Late Tuesday, there were some 30,000 evacuated, with scenes of traffic jams on Sunset Boulevard. In a matter of hours, flames tearing through parts of the Pacific Coast inland all the way to Pasadena. At least 2 killed. Delano D'Souza has more. Say it with flowers, they say, but EU officials have a concern as we expect seasonal flowers all year round these days. They've become big business, and there's been more and more pesticides, with particularly flowers originating in the Netherlands. It's an investigation by our team in the Netherlands. It's time now for sports. We say hello to Selena Sykes. And we begin with what's not really a surprise. It had been expected, but now it's official. Didier Deschamps has been the manager of the French national football team since 2012, announcing that this will be his last World Cup campaign.
That's right, François. It doesn't really come as a surprise. There's been some questions for a while now exactly when he would step down, and now it is official. Obviously, there's still some time to go, but he will be stepping down after the 2026 World Cup. The 56-year-old is France's longest-serving manager. That's all the sport for now, François. I think up until after that World Cup in 2026, we're having a lot of speculation whether it will be Zinedine Zidane that will
It's
succeed.
Certainly the name on everyone's lips. Many thanks, Selena Sykes. We'll be back with more sports news for you later. At the top of the hour, more news, and then the France 24 debate. We're playing a guessing game. Is Donald Trump serious about trying a hostile takeover of the likes of Greenland and the Panama Canal? That's in the debate. Welcome back. You're watching France 24. Coming up, 1,000 homes and businesses destroyed, hundreds of thousands without power as fast-moving winds fan Los Angeles' worst wildfire in years. At least 2 killed since Tuesday night. Firefighters battling 4 separate blazes in the Los Angeles area. An Italian journalist freed after 3 weeks in Tehran's notorious Evin prison. 29-year-old Cecilia Sala back home now as a Milan court reviews the case of an Iranian engineer arrested in Italy recently, and he's wanted by the United States. And in this edition, as Israel shows designs for parts of the Golan Heights, France 24's team visits a village where the Druze community has endured plenty over the past 15 months. After the news, the France 24 debate, the Gulf of America, as NATO allies decide whether to take seriously Donald Trump's expansionist threats against Panama, Greenland, Canada, even to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico. We'll ask our panel whether the same U.S. president-elect who's long argued against foreign military campaigns is an isolationist or an imperialist. How should Europe react? What are your reactions on the hashtag F24debate? The winds had been expected to die down by lunchtime, but now authorities in Los Angeles say the worst may be yet to come. Authorities pleading for those who have experience in firefighting to come and help. They're shorthanded as they face fierce winds that continue to fan fast-moving fires that are now moving towards more populated areas of Los Angeles. In a matter of hours, flames tearing through parts of the Pacific Coast inland all the way to Pasadena, at least 2 killed. Ryan Thompson spoke to us earlier. Coming up next, the France 24 debate, the Gulf of America, NATO allies deciding whether to take seriously Donald Trump's expansionist threats against the likes of Panama, Greenland, Canada, even renaming the Gulf of Mexico. That's next in the France 24 debate. Imagine if Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping threatened a hostile takeover of Greenland or the Panama Canal. So what about the president-elect of the United States? Is Donald Trump serious Trump, whose growing fixation comes 2 weeks ahead of Inauguration Day in the US. He even sent his son to Greenland, much to the dismay of Denmark, that EU members ruled Greenland since 1814. Today, it needs US-led NATO support to stare down the more pressing threat of the Russians in the Baltic Sea. Trump's goaded other allies, suggesting a merger with Canada on the day when his liberal opposite to the north, Justin Trudeau, announced his resignation, or to his south, suggesting we rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. How do the Trudeaus of this world react? Beyond performative politics, what's it all about? Is the man who wants a Ukraine deal on day one an isolationist or an imperialist at heart? What sets him apart from his Russian and Chinese counterparts? Today in the France 24 debate, we're asking if Trump is serious. Joining us from Copenhagen, he's Denmark's former foreign minister. Villy Søvndal is today member of the European Parliament for the Green Left Party. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation to come along.
Philip Golub is professor of political science at the American University of Paris. You're the author of Power, Profit and Prestige, A History of American Imperial Expansion. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the show.
Happy New Year.
Digital strategist André Leuzekoog-Pietri, president of the Joint European Disruption Initiative. Remind us again what that is.
We live really at an existential moment of the European Union and the European project.
And it's not even January the 20th yet. André Leuzekoog-Pietri, I want to thank you. I want to thank as well Philip Golub, Guillaume Lavoie for being with us from Montreal, Villy Søvndal for being with us from Copenhagen. Thank you for joining us here in the France 24 debate.